from Virginia, USA, on this 2nd of January 2022. Happy New Year. If you're watching this later, this is supposed to be a motivation message, the first one for 2022, and I called it No More. No More. We're going to go into details of that. Let me first cut off the sound. And I'll listen to myself. The details of No More. So what are you saying no more to? But you know, for those of you who watch me in my motivation messages, the no more message can come from me anytime. It doesn't have to be the new year. It just happened that this is the new year that I'm saying this, but I could say this to you anytime. For those of you who have never seen me, you see me for the first time, my name is Sherifa Nakalema. I'm here in Virginia, USA, but I'm originally from Uganda, East Africa. Very passionate about the messages I have on this channel. My messages are, the general message is, take a step to make your life better. Especially now. Because most people, they have new beginnings. They see the new year as something new is happening. Okay, then do it. Take a step to make your life better. I have over 400 videos here. And they're all in that message. I talk about business, I talk about earning money, I talk about just motivation like today. People requested, my viewers, that I do this live. But normally I would record videos. I would just record videos, I premiere them, we watch. But they said this year, let's go just do them as live messages. So I'm here doing them live. But I wanted to mention the other videos, because this is motivation. But I've talked about managing money, and I use the books, 2 books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I recorded 68 videos about that. The Cash Flow Quadrant, 103 videos about that. Everything is right here, this channel. I talk about YouTube tips just to share. For those of you, especially if you are new on YouTube, you can follow that. They're all in the playlist. I talk about affiliate marketing, earning money online, so much on there. So if any of that sounds interesting, especially if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Although I used to be here daily in the previous year, but now I'm slowing it down a little bit. I'm becoming twice. The most I could come maybe is 4 times, but right now I'm coming only twice. I talk about business through affiliate marketing, mostly business tips, and then that comes on Wednesday, and then on Sunday I come for motivation. Monday, if I have a video, I'll come for YouTube tips. Then around Thursday, I could throw in a video about driving around. Soon I'll show you, those who like my driving, I drive and show you why Virginia here, how people decorate for the season. They're about to remove them, so I better catch them before. Maybe this week, I'll record a video for you showing how people decorate their homes in darkness, when it's dark. But the message today is, no more. What are you saying no more to? Let me first say hello to those who are here. Those who are here, please type in the chat where you are. We are starting the new year. Let's begin. I know I had a real committed community here when we were doing the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. No, the Cash Flow Quadrant. And it was fun. But now, welcome Frederick. Please put where you are, because you are starting a new year. And today you notice that I didn't restrict the chat. I used to put only subscribers, but now anyone can join in. I used to restrict them for this reason, simple reason, that people used to come here just because of the money. I used to give out money and data and all that. They'll show up just to get that. I said, no. You have to be a committed member of this community to get those benefits that I was giving out. So right now it's open. Fred, how are you? Yes, I see you, Doreen, Tumsima Samuel. Hello, if you can put where you are. Now, do you know when I read that book, my voice is still like that? It had never healed from it. You know, I think I talk too much because I have things I do on the phone, and then when I do YouTube too. So I read a lot of the Cash Flow Quadrant. I was coming live twice a day, and my voice has never recovered. Okay, today, yes, yeah. Frederick, I'm expecting big things from you because you know a lot. What is stopping you, Fred? Recently, I wrote a message in my Facebook group. I didn't include your name intentionally. to wake you up, to say, Fred, you could do more online. Okay, the message is no more. No more. What are you saying no more? No more of for you in this year, 2022. I have some suggestions here. You could say no more wasting time. As I'm moving forward, no more wasting time. If you watch this, I'm recording this live is on the 2nd of January 2022, but even if you watch it 50 years later, this message is still relevant. No more wasting time. No more spending money on things that don't matter. Robert Kiyosaki called them doodads. Going to spend money on things that will lose value tomorrow, that will have no meaning for you in a few weeks. No more of that. Unless if you are rich, you can do whatever you want. No more spend your time with negative people. Negative people who put you down. Like, you know, when you're in a community of people around you and you feel down, like they don't feel anything inspirational. You tell them about your plans. They just say, that won't work and that won't work. So no more of that. No, if you're in that kind of a situation, you say no more be around negative people. You say no more relationships that don't help you. Relationships that don't add value to your life. You know, especially if they're reducing, taking away from what you're supposed to be doing, what is good for you. Those kind of relationships, they could be friends, they could be relatives, they could be whoever they are. Those relationships, you say no more. No more. Evaluate the 5 people you spend your time with. Look at them, each one, see what they bring to your life. But of course, you have to be giving to them too. So you better be a good friend. If you're going to say these are not good friends, how are you? Are you a good friend? Then you can say no more. They said them. I think one of the top New Year's resolution for most people is losing weight, exercising more, being healthy. So you could say no more bad habits that lead to bad health for me. No more gaining weight, because I don't know. I don't know that I never make that a big topic in my life of gaining, losing weight, but it's a very important topic for most people. If you're one of those people, you can say no more gaining weight. There's someone who says all the time, they say, if you are gaining weight, it's to do with food. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. But they say, look at the way, the food you eat and the way you move. Activity in your life. If we work on those two, what you eat and how active you are, that you solve that problem. But I don't know. It's what I hear people say. Okay, if that's your issue, no more gaining weight, then say no more and start looking for ways to work on that. Reduce. You know, take a step to a better use my message. If you keep taking a step to reduce the weight, even if you lose, here I talk in terms of pounds or kilos, every week you work on it, soon it will be a different you. By the time we celebrate 2023, if you are here to celebrate it, some people will be here, not all of us will be gone, right? It will be a different story if you keep taking that step to work on reducing the weight. Look at the food you eat and look at the movement, the way you live your life. Are you moving enough? That's what I hear. Then, of course, no more. In fact, the general theme of the no more message is no more excuses, because excuses lead you to, you have an excuse for not doing this. You have an excuse for not doing that. Oh, today I can't do that because of this. I can't do that because of this. Those are excuses. So sit down and look at the excuses you give to those things that you're not doing. What are your excuses? And then people like Fred, I don't know. Okay, that's a new person from Uganda. Kasaja Kenneth from Uganda. Abu Dhabi. Okay, welcome Kasaja. You are new. Please be close. I like UAE a lot to be around, because there are some things I do. They're not available for people in Uganda, but they're available for people who are in UAE. So please, I encourage you to connect with me. Be in my channel a lot if you're in UAE. because you have access to some things that are not accessible to others. Okay, Businge Robert. That's a new one also. Robert from Uganda. Welcome, welcome. So I was talking about Robert, Fred. I'm addressing you personally right now. I don't know if you rent or you build something of your own, but one of the things I say here is say no more. For those of you who have some money, no more renting. You can say no more renting. Do you know that they say the easiest way to stop renting, like assuming you can make some money and save it up? You start building somewhere, and you go in, start getting like once you roof it, you start living in there, living there before it's ready. It's going to push you to to fix it. What you do after you create the structure and you make sure it's roofed, move it. You move it, and before you even put the windows, you say, I have to work to put that window. I will have to work to fix this because you're very uncomfortable. I don't know who agrees with me. We get into a discussion after I rant. I'm ranting now. You can say no more renting. I'm tired of renting. And some of those people, they ask you for 6 months rent. You get all these millions and give them to a person. Those millions could start you on your house, right? And for some, if you want to stop renting, first, downsize. If you are right now living in a big house, this year, assuming you start renting, you start your period right now, whenever it comes, scale it down. First, scale it down and save that money to create your own, to buy, and especially if you have land right now, you have land already, scale down where you live and start building something. And remember that trick I told you? As soon as you put the door, don't wait for windows. Put something to cover the windows, get in. That's when you're going to get the extra energy to work and fix it while you live in it. Who agrees with me? I'll find out later. Okay, no more. There are bad habits. Bad habits. The bad habits depend on who you are. What could be a good habit for you, it could be a bad habit for me. But there are some things that I'm going to name. For me, I'd consider them bad habits, but some of you may disagree with me. The habit of smoking. Smoking, especially those people who smoke a lot, a pack a day, is a bad habit. You may disagree, but I don't think it's good for your health. So you may say, I'll start slowly and reduce it. Okay, I've been smoking a pack a day, I'm going to smoke half. Reducing it. And then the bad habit of drinking. Me, I'm a Muslim, I don't drink. But drinking, especially over drinking, but drinking at all, it may not be good for you. I don't know, I don't drink. But it could be a bad habit. You could say, especially if it leads you in trouble at home, with your wife, with your husband, then it's too much. So you can work on that bad habit. And then, do you know the bad habit of gossiping? Gossiping, having those conversations that are useless, talking about this one and that one and that one, is a bad one. You could say no more gossiping. Then you could say no more fighting, especially if you are in a relationship. Again, I refer to relationships a lot because if you fight, you cannot have a healthy discussion. That's a problem. You could say no more fighting. No more fighting for me, by the way. I live in the USA and fighting is a bad habit because it will lead you in prison. You hit a woman, you are in prison. There's no question to ask. They just call 911, the police come and take you away. So it's not a joke. Here, you could choose that you want a healthy relationship, but if you choose to fight, you are ending up in prison. It doesn't matter who does it, by the way. If the woman hitting the man, they end up in prison too. And guess what? If you are parents, they take away your children too. So it's a no here. You don't fight, you don't hit, you don't do those things. Only if you are lucky, they don't report you. But if a neighbor hears you fighting, they'll call the police and they'll knock on your door and they'll figure out what to do. One of you is going to end up in prison, and if they analyze more, the children will be taken away to foster care. So it's not a joke. No more fighting. No more Let's see. Someone could say, no more working for someone else. You could say, I'm not working for someone else. I'm creating my own thing. And by the way, I'm not saying quit your job. When you are creating your own thing, you create it slowly. You don't rush. Welcome, Sherifa, Babidia. Welcome. How are you doing? By the way, I don't think I said how are you doing in the new year. We'll talk about that. Let me first finish the ranting. No more working for someone else. Look, evaluate what you do. I remember when I was working for Uganda Revenue Authority, before I came to US, I was looking at it like, okay, I go to this place from 7 a.m. to start, because I was becoming like a manager, and they were starting calling me at 7 to start the meeting and all that stuff. I was working extra. And they used to say, officers are not paid overtime. We don't pay officers overtime. Other people, when they work overtime, they pay them. But us, they say, you are officers. So I'm giving you my time from 7 a.m., maybe it's up to 6 p.m. Then you look at how much value are you bringing. Okay, they used to pay fairly well for Ugandan standards, but still you can look at it. You say, what? I go to this job every single day. I pay transport, I pay lunch, I pay all these. And what do I get at the end of the month? You say no more. But don't rush. Don't rush it. Start creating something else slowly. We have a very habit here in America. I don't know, starting in other countries. Working from home. Working from home. That's my topic. I keep inviting you to start something online, because you work where you are. You work with your phone. You work with your computer. You don't have to pay for those transport costs and all that. You don't have to shop too much to dress up, to go to work. There's a lot of money saved by working from home. So you could think about that. You say, you know what? Slowly, I'm going to create something I can do from home. And then that brings me to another topic that I'm very passionate about. And Halima, welcome. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. The topic I'm very passionate about is for those of you, especially those of you in the Middle East, those of you who live, this live, I intentionally put it at this time. The message is for mostly Ugandans, wherever you are. You could be watching me from another country, that's fine, but the message for Ugandans. Now, I have a message for you Ugandans who are in the Middle East, who went to work, because they'll pay you $1 million a month. I'm telling you, let me share what I've been in another country. I told my story. When I came to America, you know what you lose, the cost of going to do this job. I know. We got to make the money, but the cost, the economy says opportunity cost. Let me share the cost, because I felt it. It happened to me for many, many years. Your children, you left your children, especially young children. They grow up not knowing their mom, not knowing their father. They don't even know, like, all the values. Okay, you're talking to them on the phone, but you're not there. You're not there. I'm a Muslim. You're supposed to be the man leading your family in prayer. You're not leading those kids in prayer. They'll not grow up to know what that is, that my mom or my dad was there, because you are looking for the money. And my message to you, especially if you're in UAE, please find me, because I want to share what you could do from home. Like, start slowly and go back and be with your people. You lost your, we have here, in America, to be here legally, it takes years that you are allowed to go outside and come back. When you see someone entering USA and coming and going, those are the lucky few. When you hear the American election, they keep talking about they have 11 million illegals. Those are people who cannot leave this country. They cannot go and come back. You know what that means? If you left your wife, if you left your husband, if you left your children, you never see them again. You don't see them again. When you choose to go, you don't come back. And then, of course, you left many, many years ago. You can't even go and start over. So, a husband living in America, a wife living in Uganda or any other country for 5 years, 10 years, you say, I have a wife, I have a husband. What's that? No, what does that mean, really? You lose relationships. You go to see a person, you don't even, I had children for years. The only way I know what they look like is in photos. Oh, that's their birthday, they send you a photo. Oh, that's this. It wasn't like this. I told this story. Not like now, social media and with the cell phones and WhatsApp. You had to take a photo and mail it through the post office to see what the children look like. So I know what I'm talking about and the pain. So I'm saying, come to me, my community, I share, especially if you're in UAE. Let's learn how to earn the equivalent of 1 million. That 1 million they pay you, some of you they pay you 2 million Uganda shillings. I'm talking, this message for Ugandans. That's $300 or less, which you could, because when you're online, you're promoting, you're selling to people in other countries. You don't earn money in Uganda shillings, you earn it in US dollars, or maybe, mostly US dollars. That's what I teach. So please, that message is for you. Those people who left their people to go make a million shillings. When you are in USA, it's a different story. Because maybe they're making good money, and they're sending it, and then they find the papers, and then at some point they'll be able to go see the people. That's a different story. But UAE is where I have a problem. Okay, I finished ranting on that. Okay, you left your children, they don't know you. They don't. Don't lie to yourself just because you talk to them. They don't know you. They don't know you. Because you're not there waking up with them every day. They don't. And for the husband, wife, that's a different story. Because people get into other relationships. They do. Who waits for a man who went 10 years? Or a woman who went 10 years? Okay. I don't know who agrees with me or not, but that's my feeling about that. Okay. They say, the experts, that if you want to stop, remember the message was no more. So if it's no more of something, they said the fastest way to stop a bad habit is to create a new one. If you had a bad habit, for example, I didn't even talk about this, social media. If you find yourself on social media all the time, maybe you can't, those notifications, I'm in social media too, remember? The notification brought you here. I'm not notification, but you can have some self-control about it. You can cut off your phone. But I was about to mention that they said replace a bad habit with a good habit. So if there is a bad habit of being on social media all the time, actually you could be online but doing something else, replacing it with learning. You are still online, but you are watching something that's going to change your life. So if you like to be on your phone too much, how about you switch from just chatting to learning something on that phone, same phone, a course, enroll in a course, or watch someone who's saying something good to you. Replace a bad habit with a good habit. We can discuss that in the chat. I'm about to come to discuss for those of you who want to discuss. Remember, let me remind myself. We're going to go into a discussion of replacing bad habits with good. We'll see which one we can replace, bad with good. And then I want to also talk about excuses. I think the ranting will stop here. I want to see, first of all, those of you, oh, Yala, Musa, oh, my sister is here too. Anastasia, welcome. Musa, welcome, Halima. Yeah, so please, make a comment from my ranting, whatever you heard me say. What resonates with you? I said no more excuses. I said even something as simple as gossiping. You say, I'm not gossiping anymore. I'm not hanging out with friends who don't add value to my life. No. You know those friends who are takers? They're always showing up to take something from you. All they do is ask and take. No. You say no more of those. You help people when you want to help people. But they shouldn't force you into doing things you feel like you are tired of doing. So before you get into what you are tired of doing, make a comment, please. From what I just said, I'm turning to you. What resonated with you? Just put a statement here in the chat. I'll be reading it. My voice died from that reading the cash flow quadrant. I have some residuals. It hasn't healed yet. Oh, Grace, yes. Okay, welcome, Grace Nakito. Please find me, Facebook. I didn't mention that I support people who want to read the book, to watch my videos about the rich dad, poor dad. If you want to manage money, to change your life, forget about this earn money online thing. I'm talking about the principles. Learn the principles of money. You have to watch those videos. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I sponsor people. When you're 3 or 4 and you have a laptop, I sponsor data, support those who watch them because it will change your life. And then the Rich Dad, the cash flow quadrant, that's another level now. Those are the ones I want. If you want to start a business, that's my message this year. You get tired of me because that's what I'm going to talk about. Business, business, business. There's a time when I was talking about start a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel. We got some to start YouTube channels. They abandoned them. They abandoned their YouTube channel. They thought when you start a YouTube channel, maybe money starts flowing like this. No. You share what you, like I'm here, I'm sharing. You keep doing that. Once a week is a good thing. When you get to YouTube paying you, that's good too. But don't expect money to start flowing tomorrow because you have a YouTube channel. So I still invite people to start YouTube channel. But my message is going to be more about business, a real business that will stay. Even when you're dead, your business can continue. We want to set it up that way, okay? Hello, Wasaja, welcome, welcome. Yes, no more paying attention to wrong people. The people who bring negative energy. Can you imagine if it was a phone conversation? You start a phone conversation. By the time you finish it, you feel like all the energy is gone. Those kind of people, no more. No more. I said no more to them. If you are looking for people to connect with, good people, you text me. Let's talk about the good people, where to find them. Because they are good people that are going to encourage you, whatever you're doing. I'm one of them. Find me. I can be your only friend. I communicate day and night. People communicate with me, they wonder how I do it. Because they were in time difference. Right now it's 1 p.m. my time, coming to 2 p.m. So I don't mind. I communicate anytime. I want to be your friend to motivate you. Okay, even if you have 1 or 2 good friends, it's better than having 10 or 12 who are just negative, bring negative energy to your life. Okay, let's see. Please make a comment about what I just said. Unless I say no more paying attention to wrong people. Yeah, don't waste your time with them. Please make comment. Jamila, I missed that one. Jamila, welcome. Nasser. Do you say Nasser or Nasir? Abdul Nasir. Welcome, Jamila. All those are new people here. Jamila, I think my message, I had a message for those in UAE. Put a comment. You miss your people. I don't want to waste time with ignorant people anymore. Yeah, I'm clapping for you, my sister. Yeah, people who don't add value to your life. Gossiping. What does gossiping add to your life? We always want to learn, but sometimes we can't afford data. I know, I just said that data, I solved data issue. You came late. I was here sponsoring people data with the Cash Flow Quadrant book. Right now, I sponsored data for those watching the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So if you have Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but you're not in contact with me, first connect with me via Facebook. I'm talking to Grace Nakito. Connect with me, start a group, 3 or 4 people watching those videos. That's when I sponsor data. But I'm not sponsoring data for these anymore because we used to do books with the lives. Now I don't do books. Yes, do that. So make more comments, please. Before we move on, I'm going to ask you what excuses. Let's first say, what do you want? What are you saying no more of? Maybe I mentioned some. I have a whole long list, by the way. I didn't finish all of them. I see the time is going. What are you saying no more for me? Please put in the chat. If you come later, you watch this later, you know, it becomes a video on the channel. Say no more. Put in the comments. No more this for me. What is it? What is it? That annoying thing that you're not moving forward? You know, some of them are limiting beliefs. I did a whole video here, a whole live about limiting beliefs. I have them. Mine are thinking small. Thinking small is mine. So I don't know how to think very big, but I'm learning. So some of these things, it's not easy because you have to change who you are. Like you've been alive 30 years. That's the only way you've done things. Now it's time to change it. Because if you can only change, nothing will change. They say nothing will change unless you do. You, the person, you have to change. And the other motivation that I do, I say, you have to make a decision. It don't just happen. Things don't just happen. You decide. No more. Enough of this. I'm changing it. I'm changing it. You know, there is a delicate topic I don't want to talk about, and that's marriage. Marriage. Some of people are in horrible relationships, especially women. When they are there in their relationships, just because the man is providing food and shelter and all that, they hit them all the time, they abuse them all the time, but they can't do anything. They're just scared. They don't know what to do. So I'll go there. I'll say, no more. Demand to be respected and demand for the man to appreciate what you do. Appreciate what you do. The women give birth to the children. Now the man will say, my children, my children. Okay, your children. But do you know the job that woman does? And then on top of that, they're taking care of this baby, crying at night, going to the doctors and all that. Just because you paid the money for the wife to take the children to the doctors, doesn't give you like the top. You are, oh, now I'm the only boss around here. You make all the decisions. And the wife, because the wife is cooking and cleaning, 10 jobs, they look at them like they're doing nothing. Those are the hardest jobs a person can do. Going to work, anyone can do it. You can go and work in an office on a computer and everything and go home. But try cooking and cleaning and taking care of the children and being with a man and doing all those things and being called like you're nothing, taken like you're nothing. Who resonates with that message? Please put a comment for me. Because men have to respect their wives and the amount of work they put in. The amount of work they put in. Just because you provide the money, that's because you build the house, you pay the bills, doesn't mean the other person has no rights. Now, that wasn't planned. But I feel like women do too much. And now on top of that, they also work. They go make the money, but you can't both come home. Now, in America, we don't have people help us, like house girls or that. You come home, you both went to work. You are expected to take care of children, make sure they have bath, they have food, and the man too, and the washing, and the cleaning. What? No. I'm saying, you said no more of this. Let's talk about it, or if you have a lot of money, hire some help. Hire some help. So the women feel like they're crazy. They're like, the earth is rolling, no break for them. Okay. Even the women who don't work, still, they're overworked. It's a lot of work. Okay. Don't allow negative people. Let's see. Who is that? I didn't understand. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Ahmed. Umed. Find me, please. You have an opportunity. Kenneth. Yes, it's not just home chores, Fred. It's the children. The children are sick. The children, and on top of that, you want the woman to have time for you also. And now, if they don't give you time, you go find yourself a new one. So now you have 2 and 3. You're having fun. You are not appreciating this first wife that you have. I'm very passionate about those things. Please appreciate your women. Take turns. In USA, by the way, men do a better job. They cook, they help out with the women. They come and they all do it. Okay, if the woman is cooking in the kitchen, the man is taking children to have a shower, to bathe them, read stories with them. You know, here the children stay they are not in boarding school, they have their children. So that they take turns. The men do a better job over here. But in Africa, I'm sorry. They are learning, some of them. Find me, Kenneth. What's that job? Find me in... even here, if you watch even my recent video before this one, I have links everywhere. Find me and find my phone number. Hello, Asimwe. Asimwe is here. Asimwe, you're here for the first time. Yeah, I'm here ranting. You haven't seen me live. I'm here live. You're Asimwe. Oh, Asimwe, you're already up there. I didn't see that. Please add more comments. What are you saying? No more. No more of this. I demand. If you are in a partnership, relationship, someone not treating you right, talk to them. I'm not saying leave them. Talk to them, ask, and say, you know what? No more of this. I'm sitting feeling like I'm suffocated. Suffocated. Especially dealing with those children with no break. No break. You have to deal with them every single day. They are crying. You need someone to give you a break. Okay? Please make a comment. I ask you what you want to change, because the purpose of this is to get you to think of what you want to change. Do you want me to go back to my list? I talked about wasting time. I talked about spending money on things that don't matter, especially if you have young children and they're wasting time, or wasting the money on or they call them designer clothing, designer shoes. No, you don't need designer shoes and designer clothing. You need the basics. But I also say, I didn't mention it, no more not taking care of yourself, because something else could be happening. You could be working, but then no more working all the time. Spend some time with your people. No more working all the time. That goes also to the people who leave countries and go. Because all you're thinking about, oh, they'll pay me 2 million, I have to go. But what's the cost? What's the cost? You rather get 1 million and stay with your children and your wife or your husband. That's my message. Figure out how to, and then the Joneses, we didn't talk about that, about them. Oh, well, you see my neighbors, they have this and they have that, and I don't have it. This habit of taking children to schools just because the other one took their child to school and mine have to go to that school when you can't afford it. You don't, can you imagine? Okay, it's good to have your children in a very good school, but you are renting. You are in Kazigo. You are in Kazigo, but you're spending millions to take a child to school, and a child who's 4 years. A 4-year-old, you pay millions when you are living in a Muzigo. How does that make sense? It doesn't. It's because you are competing. You are with the others. You want to be the others. What do they get, those children, from that school that costs so much money? That it makes sense to spend all that money. It doesn't. They're still young kids. You all know, if you are here, you have the basic education. You can teach your 3-year-old the basics. I just shared, let me put it here, because I just had a conversation with the person. That's why I'm sharing it here. I want to change my savings behavior. No more spending. Yes, rich dad, Robert calls them doodads. You spend money on a doodad, something you're gonna throw away tomorrow. When you don't have assets. Okay, I'm sharing something here. For those of you who have younger children, it's called Hooked on Phonics. I will talk about it to someone. Okay, go find Hooked on Phonics, and some of it is free, some of it, in fact, the other one is I'm not a parent anymore. I don't have young kids anymore, but I'm sharing the tips I use. Khan Academy. I think it's called Khan Academy. Are you familiar with these? If you have young children, those are very good resources. Yeah, so Hooked on Phonics. If you are, parents, we don't know that we are the best teachers. The best teacher to our children. We don't believe it. We believe, send your child to a school is the best thing. Some people here are choosing to homeschool their children, let me tell you. Because if you have a resource like Hooked on Phonics, the one I just put there, you're going to teach your child how to read. Actually, you're not going to be the one doing it. They do it, but you do it. Right now, I think they have an app. When I did it, they had CDs. You just get CDs, and the child would watch. All you have to do is to have a session, 20 minutes, for your child to watch and listen, and you teach them how to read in less than, if you have a 3-year-old, I guarantee you, if you did this 20 minutes every day, or maybe 30 minutes every day, within 6 months, your child is going to be reading a real book. When they started not knowing a single letter or anything, within 6 months, they'll be reading and reading well. So just because you are a committed parent, it could be a little fee you pay, or some of it is free. Now, Khan Academy, for those of you who, Khan Academy, I think goes all the way, even university. I think Microsoft, the Microsoft gentleman is sponsoring it, I think I had, because it started off as someone helping someone else from a distance and turned out to be a good thing. It's called Khan Academy. Check it out. Free stuff. That's free. You can support your child in your own home and save some money. And then build something. Build a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, 1 room, it doesn't matter. As long as it's yours. That's my message to you. It's so important. Don't waste money. Start slowly. First get the land. Where you have the land, Then put a little structure. Remember I said, once you put a door, you are ready to move in. Don't wait until it's ready. Okay, what do you say here? So important to run saving. Yeah, Fred, I think my message to you is not even about saving. I want you to have an online presence. I don't know what you are doing, Fred. You need an online presence. You need a YouTube channel. You need a website. You need all those things. I want to change my settings. Yeah, no more delaying to make decisions. Yes, make the decisions that are going to help your life. Home chores are the hardest. So what are the comments? Put more comments. What do you want to change this year? This year, anytime you watch this, what do you feel like? I've been wanting to change that. I've been delaying. Today is the day. No more waiting. That's my message for you today. Enough is enough. No more waiting. What are you going to change? I need to hear all of you in the chat. Please put what you are changing. All this time is wasted. What are you changing? If you watch this later, put it in the comments. What, as you listen to me, what are you going to change? And what's your excuse? Why have you not been doing it? You know, when I came to Uganda, specifically Uganda, I say Africa, but I say Uganda. I spent a lot of time last year. Oh, we said last year, 2021. A lot of time and effort. Every day recording video. Every day reading books. But have you really used this information? Do you know I cried in the last video when I was finishing the cash flow quadrant? And I said, are you people really going to use this information? What Robert gave you, he talked to you like a brother, like a father, like, I mean, he poured his life there. But are you really going to use it? I was recording those videos sometimes at 3 a.m. Sometimes I came live twice for you to say, you know what, let's share this information because not everyone has access to it. But have you really used it? This excuse of no data, I'm actually tired of it now. Because even if you save 10, if you were in Uganda, you could even go to a place. Do you know that there are places where data is free? Do you know that? That there are places, if you go so close to them, they have Wi-Fi and it is free. Right now it's McDonald's, I think. Who can name something in Uganda and Kampala where data is free? That if you went and hung out in a corner, you could watch something and finish it for free. Please share in the chat. Where is data free in Uganda? Because where I support people, but still they don't come. But I'm saying there is places where you can go and access data for free. Please share. Those who know. Yes. Yes. Free Wi-Fi. I said, no data, you know me, I don't have data. That's an excuse. And even you yourself, you could afford the data. You could afford the data, but you want someone to look for you. When I was releasing these videos, I kept looking for you. Are you available? Can you come watch it? I stopped that, by the way. And this 2022, I'm not doing that. I'll be supporting people who come in my world saying, you know what? I want to watch that video. I want this. What can I do? I'll support you with that. I offered free Zooms. I said, come on Zoom. I'll show you how this works. They don't show up. No one is going to do it for you, let me tell you. No one is going to do it for you. Say no more and do it for yourself. Or you're going to be 50 years. I'm 54, by the way. I'm 54 years. You're going to be 54 the way I am and with nothing to show because you didn't take a decision. You didn't make that decision. Okay? I said, for those of you who want to learn online marketing, you need an hour a day. Now, the experience I've had with those people in UAE, you say, oh, I work so long. I said, do you sit on a train? Do you know when you're sitting on a train, you could be watching a whole session of the course? Because you look at the day as in, okay, now I have to go to work, 40 minutes on the train. But what about those 40 minutes? You could be using the 40 minutes. The books, Cash Flow Quadrant and Rich Dad Quadrant, they're in audio form too. Free audio. You cannot download an audio and listen to it while you're doing other things. Those are excuses. Speak Hotel and MI Uganda. What do you mean? Asim, what are you talking about? Yeah, Speak Hotel. Yeah. People, you can have free Wi-Fi. All you do is sit in a corner. We have a young man who made himself some millions, and I'm talking dollars. But the way he tells the story, he's right here. I could say his name. I want to go to say it today. If you find it private, I can tell you. he tells the story. You know, in America, when you have a husband and wife, the normal thing to be would be that the husband has a car and the wife has a car, because both have to work. Maybe the wife takes children to school, whatever, and the man has a car. But in their situation, they had just one car. So they have, I think 2 or 3 children. So he said, you know what? She can drive the car. Let me buy a bike. In America, being on a bike is not the fun thing to do. But he would go on his bike, and he wanted to make his life better. But he would not afford things like Wi-Fi. I think he was missing something. He talks about getting the gym. It's a school gym. I think he would talk to security, and he would stay in the gym until midnight studying something, because he couldn't afford. I think he didn't have Wi-Fi at home. The same thing I'm talking to you about. He said he did that for a whole year. But by the time he got out of that, you know what he did? He mastered a software. Because he was doing this so much, he ended up being hired by the company that made that software. Because he knew it so much, when he would go on Facebook, people would be asking questions, he would be answering the question. And then the people who made the software, they would be saying, who is that person? Who knows our software almost more than we do? He ended up getting the best job in that company. They hired him. But he would ride his bike. I don't want to tell the whole story, because if I say the name, you know who he is. They had a function somewhere where they do these annual gatherings. So he rode his bike and said, I rode my bike. I couldn't afford to be in a hotel. So I figured out somewhere to hide the bike to attend this thing. Because he was getting to the knowledge. He wanted to get the knowledge. But his story is beautiful, because he ended up getting the best job. And later he left that same job and created his own company. He's a millionaire right now. And he did that. When he quit, he said, watch me as I make my first million online. And he did it. He started a YouTube channel. If I told you, you'd go see it, but I won't. But I'll just share to tell you that it's possible. It's very possible, but everyone has a story. You have to go through some kind of struggle. It's not gonna just happen. Okay? So, there is free Wi-Fi according to Asime from Speak Hotel and what's the MI? Uganda. I don't know what that is. So you can get free Wi-Fi, but me, I support you also. But only if you're doing Rich Dad Poor Dad, the books. That's what I'm supporting with free Wi-Fi with data now. And also those who want to do what? Affiliate marketing. If you want to do affiliate marketing, you can contact me also. I support you with that. Okay? If you want a Zoom call, let me know. When you go find any links in my YouTube channel here, you put your email, you get an email back from me. My name is Sherifa, and there is always a phone number. There is a phone number. Text me. By the way, on this channel, I also added a phone number. But the best way would be to go through adding your email, because then I'll know who you are. If you just come in the about here, I added a different line. It's different. You can get to me, but it's not the right way. The other way would be best. Okay? So, hopefully, you took out something. You're going to make some decisions. A decision, especially as you start the new year, to say no more of this. The Rich Dad Poor Dad is right here on this channel. Everything is on this channel. Let me get a link for you. Let me get a link for you to Rich Dad Poor Dad, because those are the basics. I mean, you don't want to go to Cash Flow Quadrant before you do the Rich Dad Poor Dad, okay? So let me get a link for you. Hang on. But I would say go to my channel. Let me get it for you. I recorded 68 videos on that same book. So let me share the link. If you want me to support you with data, you find like at least 2 other people. That's the link to Rich Dad Poor Dad, the videos. Okay? Below it, in the description, you find that they give you free audio. You can listen to it. But the videos are better because I share. As I'm reading this book, I'm sharing the notes. I'm also giving my 2 cents on whatever he's teaching. So I think it's more fun to watch the videos. If you want to just listen, you can go, it take you to Amazon Audible. and it's free, but you have to search for it. Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and they give it to you for free. Okay, I'm ending this one. I know that many of you cannot stay here long because of data issues, but I feel like if I gave you just free data to come watch me like this, no. I rather sponsor people who are taking real action, people who are learning or doing the Rich Dad Poor Dad, and also people who are doing affiliate marketing. Those are the ones I'll support with the data. For watching me here, you have to use your own. Okay, the voice is getting low. Okay, remember I have videos, Rich Dad Poor Dad, 68 videos. That's teaching you money lessons, and like he's gonna teach you a lot. Like the difference between an asset and a liability. He's gonna tell you that savers are losers. He has his message. Go find it. Why someone with a PhD ended up being the poor dad, and someone who had an 8th grade education ended up to be the rich dad. So you need to watch the whole story, how it goes. And then after that, the next one will be the cash flow quadrant. I have 103 videos of that. It's teaching you the difference between being an employer and a self-employed and a business owner and investor, and what is good for you. What is good for you, it's cross to get to the business side and the investment side. I'm working to cross. I'm on my way to cross into, because I already own a company, so I just have to grow it big so that it has a system to make money when I'm not there. So if you're watching this much later especially, please find where I'm talking about affiliate marketing, or just find me in Facebook, Sherifa Nakalema, and contact with me. I'll share some links and come in my community. I'll take you to Zoom if that's what you need to show you how these things work. But I strongly believe that owning a business will lead to your freedom. It's slow, but it's a process that can make your life much, much better, especially with this internet and the affiliate marketing, okay? No, I'm registering a company. Fred, are you familiar with Aula? You know Aula, right? Aula Mugenyi? Contact Aula on Facebook. Because for me, registering a company, it depends what's kind of company. Fred, the only thing I would say to you, I don't advise you to do partnerships. No partnerships. Register a company that's the one that's called limited, like limited. Because you are in Uganda, it needs to have limited so that, it needs to be a company, not a sole proprietorship. You don't want to die and your business dies with you. I have a whole video about that. We call that the business. Okay, if you know Aula, go. Because he just did that. He just had a company, a business in Uganda. Although right now it's a sole proprietorship, but the same company, for me, before I register a company, I'll talk to some kind of business person, especially an accountant or a business lawyer. Here, they're business lawyers. But for me, I ended up being advised by an accountant. Because, remember, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the cash flow quadrant, the tax stuff and all that, they're different for every country. So talk to someone who knows something about taxes before you choose the way you register it. But if I were you, I would register a company with limited on it, so that you separate the business from you. That's what I would do. But it's a little bit expensive. I think right now it's like 500,000, something like that, Uganda shillings. If you are ready to do that kind, that's the best. But before you do that, you can still create money. Fred, first create the money before you register the company. You can switch it. You can start as you and switch it later, because it's expensive to maintain a company. Okay? That's my feedback for you. Anyone with a question, I'm about to close this here. Normally, I would say anyone who wants to come on Zoom, but it's 10 p.m. for you. I don't know. 11 p.m. for UAE is a little bit late. If anyone wants to come on Zoom with me, put Zoom right here in the chat. I'll start a Zoom just for you. Grace Nakito. But you say you have data issues, I think. Because Zoom takes data too. Okay, this is late. I think I'm going to close this one out. For those of you who watch this later, my message today was no more. Change something in your life. Yeah. First, take action. Fred, take action. Let's bring some money in, start creating your systems. Then they change the business to a company. It can come later. Because I know it slows you down, the systems of the company. Because once you create it, the record keeping and all that stuff that goes with it may slow you down. Okay? Thank you for watching it. If you need to get in touch with me, I'm Sherifa Nakalema. Yeah. It's red. You go to sleep. I'm Sherifa Nakalema. I don't know if everyone knows my name. You can find me in Facebook and ask to be my friend and ask me any questions. I may not, and in Instagram too. I use that name. I may not respond quickly, but I later respond. Okay? Leave a comment for me. What do you think? What are you changing this year? I'm closing this one out. Bye-bye.